Welcome into the third space today. It's wonderful that you can be here, wherever here is for you in this moment. Before we begin, I'd like to encourage you, if you're watching this after the recording, to just pause the video for a minute and pop out and get yourself a little bowl in your kitchen and with some water in it, because we're going to be using that today during our practice. So, rightio. Well, today is a mindfulness meditation practice, and I've been thinking about mindfulness, and how our minds are often very busy. They're very full, but they're busy. And I've been thinking about how our mind is like a bowl full of water. And oftentimes the water in the bowl is very tumultuous and not very still at all. And last week we talked about choiceless awareness. And often with mindfulness, we talk about paying attention moment by moment to whatever it is we're thinking or feeling without judgment or criticism. But I was thinking about how actually the practice of meditation is more about choiceless awareness than paying attention. So what we're going to do today in our practice is we're going to initially hold our bowls of water. So if you'd like to hold it in your hands, and just have a look at the water. Look at the water and notice it. Notice how when you move the bowl a little, the water moves with it. But the bowl is always full and our mind is always full. And the practice of meditation and mindfulness is about allowing that water or allowing our thoughts to come to a place of stillness. Just noticing by being choicelessly aware of our thoughts. Bowl is, if it was conscious, the bowl would be conscious of the water inside. And so by holding this bowl of water, perhaps it's a way of just becoming choicelessly aware of our thoughts within our mind. The bowl and the water is external to our bodies, and perhaps we look at it with a very soft gaze, just becoming aware of it without actually focusing or looking, meaning being intentionally thinking about the bowl and the water in our hands, but just becoming aware. The eyes are softly gazing. Just having a really open focus. Not even really a focus, just an open, soft, slowly emerging awareness of the stillness of the water. Feel free to put down the bowl of water at any time during the practice. And if it's helpful to hold it, please do so. So we just allow that softness of gaze to be the same kind of softness of attention or gaze that we use for our thoughts. So that internal gaze becomes aware without being directed. We begin to become aware of our thoughts. Just being curious within our consciousness, being curious to notice the thoughts that are flowing into our mind. Perhaps we imagine them emerging into the middle of our awareness from the edges. And perhaps we can imagine them moving from the center of our awareness out to the edges. Perhaps imagining that our thoughts are like the water in the bowl. We notice them as they come and go. We're not engaging with any thought in particular. We're just allowing the thought to drift past or through, or even just stay still in the center of our mind, in the center of our consciousness. Becoming choicelessly aware. Allowing our consciousness to be curious. Noticing the thoughts without thinking the thoughts, without the need to think about each one, but just allowing them to come and go. Allowing that deep core sense of being to be at peace. Allowing the thoughts to flow through. Or settling down, just settling down in the center of our mind, peaceful and still like the water in the bowl. Perhaps we allow our imaginations to imagine the water and noticing the flow of gravity. That flow holds the water in the bowl. What an extraordinary thing. Gravity holds the water in the bowl, drawing the water down to the edges. We imagine the gravity and the way it holds our body on the earth in perfect balance. Perfect balance. The gravity flows over our body. Flowing, flowing, always flowing. The constant, stable force that we can trust to hold us. Becoming choicelessly aware of the flow on our whole body. Noticing where there's resistance in our bodies, just letting our attention, our internal gaze, drift across our body, drift through our bodies, and noticing, paying attention to any area of our body that is resisting the gravity, that is pressing up against it. Perhaps we notice that resistance in the muscles of our face. As we take a deep breath in, and when we exhale, we release, we yield into the gravity, to its flow, releasing the muscles in our face, around our jaw or mouth, perhaps our forehead. Noticing any resistance in our neck and shoulders, a place where most of us carry our resistance. We release. Allowing our body to come into that place of gentle stillness. Place of peace and rest. Gravity is holding the water in the bowl, holding our bodies on the earth. We are held. We allow our internal gaze to drift back up into our thought center, gently and slowly. Allowing our awareness to enjoy the stillness of thought, the quietness of our mind. Perhaps we gently flow in and out of awareness. Allowing the internal chatter to just be still and quiet again. Perhaps we allow our awareness to become aware of the sounds that are entering into our ears, drifting across our mind, just letting them drift. No need to engage with the sounds, but just hearing them as they flow. Our thoughts are quiet so we can enjoy the flow of noise or sound or rhythm. Embracing and receiving every single wave of sound as it passes into and through our bodies. We allow our perception to hear the sound of our own breath, our own heart beating, a rhythm of life and a life rhythm in each and every one of us. Our internal gaze flowing down to our very core, the center of our being. Noticing the flow of air, noticing the life breath deep within us, drawing in the breath of life. Every exhalation releasing that which does not serve us any longer. The breath in and the breath out. Flow of air in and the flow of air out. Flow of sound into our ears. settling in our minds, releasing the need to think any thoughts. Enjoying the quietness within. The stillness of mind, of thought, the stillness of body and soul. Deep peace within the stillness. The peace of Shalom. As we stay in this place of stillness and quietness and peacefulness, we allow it to infuse every cell in our body, every corner of our mind. We allow it to be imprinted like a photo, allowing our memories to absorb the stillness, the quietness, and the peacefulness. Imprinting deep into our memory. As it's stored within our bodies, our mind, and our soul, this is a place we can return to. We can return here with the closing of the eyes and the deepness of our breath, the stillness of our thoughts. We can return here at any time. A place of peace. Perhaps in our imaginations, we imagine bubbles emerging from the water, emerging from the bottom and the edges of our bowl, bubbles of thought, bubbles of awareness, allowing our consciousness to begin to bubble up again, gently, slowly. Our internal gaze becoming a little more directed again, beginning to engage with the thoughts in our minds, actively noticing the air as it flows in through our nose, down our throats, deep into our bodies. Engaging with the breath, really drawing it into our bodies. Engaging with our thoughts in our mind. Perhaps they're dancing a little, moving around like sunlight on the water, dancing with life, dancing with joy. Feeling what our body feels with every breath in and out. Drawing the air in very deliberately and consciously now, drawing it in, feeling it in the nose, in the nostrils, and feeling the air down the throat, feeling the body expand with the breath in, feeling our mind emerge from the stillness, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, breathing in. And as we exhale, very gently, slowly, joyfully opening our eyes, allowing the soft gaze on the space we are in, allowing that softness to gently and slowly emerge, allowing our consciousness and our awareness to engage again. Be at peace, my friends. Shalom.